Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special BoardPro webinar today. So for this session, we'll be taking you through one of the latest features in BoardPro, which is our annual work plan. This webinar today will also include a live demo from one of our product team, um, and we're looking forward to taking you through it. So thanks again for attending. We really appreciate the effort you've made to be here. Any questions that come up throughout, please use the Q&A button. You'll see it in the toolbar at the bottom of the screen. We'll answer questions as best we can throughout the webinar, and we'll have some time at the end to go through them live as well. But don't worry, if you give us a question, we will answer it. And finally, too, if you stay through to the end, which we really hope you will do, we've got a special treat. So if you stick around and answer our 1-minute survey, you'll go in the draw to win a beautiful gift hamper worth over $400. So just quickly, for those of you who don't know BoardPro, though I hope you would by the fact that you're here, we're a board software provider that serves over 35,000 users around the world. We enable organizations to run more effective board meetings with less effort and significantly better outcomes for their stakeholders. And part of our wider mission is to make the fundamentals of governance free and easy and to implement for all organizations, especially those with resource constraints. So as part of that mission, we provide free access to templates, guides, and resources, all of which you'll find on the Resource Center of the BoardPro website. And of course, there are these webinars too, which we run every week and are a great way to access that key governance knowledge without the time commitment typical of in-person events. So for the next 45 minutes or so, please just sit back, relax, enjoy the conversation. The full recording and, as I mentioned, those questions will be made available to you after around 24 hours after the session today. So some introductions from our speakers. So myself, I'm David. I'm from the product team here, and we've also got Penny. Would you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, tēnā koutou katoa, everyone. Ko Penny toku ingoa. So I'm the head of product here at BoardPro out of Tamaki Makaurau. And I'll pass to Pri.
Hello, everyone. I'm Priyanka. I'm one of our product managers here at BoardPro.
Thanks both. So today we're going to cover why a robust annual work plan is critical and the problem with some of how those plans are managed today. And then we'll take you through the new capability we've got live in the product now, which is a brand new feature, as I mentioned before. And we'll cover how to get started with it and then leave some time for those questions. So for anyone who joined the webinar last week with our experts, Julie, Stephen, and Graham, you hopefully gained a better understanding of how to develop those plans effectively. And as we all know, those plans are the strategic roadmap for the board. Doing things like helping to align daily tasks with long-term goals, assisting with prioritization, and helping with resource allocation. And in a perfect world, that plan ensures nothing gets missed, but we don't always live in a perfect world. So when that critical piece of planning lives in a static spreadsheet or a Word document, it's prone to things like version control errors, broken formatting, unnecessary admin. I'm sure many of you have felt the frustration of managing a Word document and a table just breaking and things like that. We wanted to move to a setup that handles the heavy lifting for you so you can stay focused on the work itself. So with that, I'll hand over to Pri.
Perfect. Thank you, David. Give me a second. So hi, everyone. As I mentioned, I'm Priyanka. I'm one of the product managers here at BoardPro, and I get the honor of introducing our new annual work plan feature to you today. So we shaped annual work plan to address the issues that David just mentioned, things like version control, capacity planning, and really enabling you to confidently meet your funding, regulatory, and compliance obligations. It's intended to be a dedicated view of your board's governance and compliance tasks that lives within BoardPro. It's not just a list, more a living roadmap that kind of enables you to see and plan for the future as well. If you could, yeah, thank you. So we've included a high-level annual view to help you zoom out from the month-to-month meeting prep and see your entire year at a glance. You can immediately assess strategic workload and compliance coverage. This prevents the kind of common trap of agenda overload where there's too many critical tasks like audits or risk reviews and policy updates that are crammed into a single quarter or month. And I will, as David mentioned, run through a live product demo as well, so you can see all of these wonderful concepts in action. By having this dedicated annual roadmap, you can ensure that your governance, compliance, and strategic commitments are met without compromising on the time needed for like those really good, deep strategic discussions. It also gives you high-level visibility when enabling you to stay proactive rather than reactive. If you switch slides, thank you. So the Living Annual Work Plan in BoardPro is about solving the which version is this nightmare that many of you have told us that you face. When a plan lives in a static document, it starts to go out of date pretty much the moment that it's saved. So with BoardPro, you're moving away from kind of those endless email threads and rigid copy-paste spreadsheets. And instead, you have a single live source of truth that updates instantly for everyone on the board. It transforms your planning from a static admin burden to a living roadmap. So this ensures that whether you're the board secretary or the chair, you're always looking at the most current strategic priorities and compliance commitments. This is where the plan really comes to life. One of the biggest challenges for any board is the gap between the high-level strategy and the actual meeting agenda. It's easy for critical work to get pushed aside. So with BoardPro, you can create a bridge between the annual priorities and the specific meetings that are booked in to ensure that every goal has a home, and instantly visualize the attendees list as well to confirm the right stakeholders are involved and navigate directly to the meeting context with just one click. So this ensures that your strategic goals aren't just like a separate document in a folder, and that your important strategic discussions actually happen as planned. Thank you. The biggest hurdle to better planning is often just staring at a blank page. So we've tried to remove that barrier by giving you a head start with a proven structure. You can immediately load a pre-built best practice template, which is tailored for governance. Or if you already have an annual work plan that you're happy with, you can simply upload your existing document or spreadsheet into the annual work plan feature. In just seconds, BoardPro establishes your solid work plan structure for you. This means you can spend your time refining the strategy rather than building the framework from scratch. Cool. So I'll now walk through a demo of the annual work plan feature so you can see how all these solutions come to life. I will take over sharing from you. Give me a second here, please. Penny or David, just a little thumbs up to say you can see the right screen, please. Yeah, perfect, cool. So this would be the view that you'll see when you log into BoardPro, and you can see the option on the left-hand side menu here that just says Annual Work Plan. So when you go into the Annual Work Plan feature, this is the homepage that you'll see. There's a Learn More link here that would take you to an article that has more information about the functionality itself and how you can get started. And then there is an option to either create a blank annual work plan, import an existing plan that you've already created in files like documents or spreadsheets, and then use a best practice template, which I mentioned earlier. So I'm just going to run through and demo a couple of those options so that you can kind of get a feel for how the functionality works. So I'll start off with creating a annual work plan, creating a blank plan. So when you click in there, you'll see that we've preloaded the blank annual work plan with the first 3 months of this year for you. And there's also a little summary that again tells you how to get the best of annual work plan and suggests some first steps that you might take. So it's really easy in here to just kind of add a month, depending how far in advance you have the information and would like to do some planning. It's also really easy to tailor it depending on how your board meeting structure might work. So if you didn't have a meeting in April, then just go ahead and delete that month, and it's fairly easy. You can also click on them to click on the month to change it and make it more accurately reflect when the discussions or tasks would be covered off. Adding a task is really simple. So you just click into where it says write your item, and you can just type in whatever the task is there. So let's say in Feb, we are going to do, can't type and talk at the same time. Development. Cool. And then you can just hit enter to add another item under Feb, or use the add item button down here at the bottom of the screen. And then let's say we want to add the same one in here, make it a approve process. So yes, and you're able to drag and drop the tasks between the months relatively easily. And as we mentioned earlier, being able to create a tie between a board meeting that's happening and the tasks that need to be covered in that meeting. So to the right here, you'll see there's a link meeting button, and just being able to click on link meeting, it will show you all of the meetings that you have set up already in BoardPro. You'll be able to click on it, and then at a glance here, you can see who the attendees are for that meeting, and also with a single click, if you clicked on that, you'd be taken to the meeting page in BoardPro as well. So let me just get back in there. Cool. And then deleting a task is really easy. So you can just use the menu here on the left and just delete them. Or if you wanted to delete more than one task, you can just select multiple ones and delete them that way. And then deleting a month, I've already demoed, and it's just in the menu here on the right. Cool. So that is a high level overview of how you would create an annual work plan, just from a blank plan. And then the other option that I'll demo today as well is also the option to use that best practice template. So this template was created basically to show you all of the governance tasks that could be considered in each of the months. It was kind of developed to inspire. And just as you could before, you can delete, drag and drop, or change around the structure to basically suit how you and your board work, and make sure that you get the most from that experience. And then if we go back to the list view here, you can also just rename the annual work plans that you have in there, and then also clone them. So if you wanted to have specific plans for each year, you could just go in there and clone them like so. So that one there might be 2028. And then from this view, you can also go ahead and delete them, or rename them as I did just then as well. Cool. So those were, I'll just stop sharing now. That was the really high level overview of the product in the wild. So David, I will hand back to you.
All right, thanks, Prue. Thanks, Penny, too. So one thing we really wanted to acknowledge with Annual Work Plan is that we've actually been working with quite a few of you on the development of it, and potentially some of you are even here on the call today. So hello. We really want to acknowledge your efforts in bringing that to life. And if anyone else listening today has ideas too, we always love to hear from you. You can just go through the ideas portal on the BoardPro website. So probably wondering now, pathways to start with Annual Work Plan. If you're a BoardPro customer, you can try it literally right now. It's accessible from the navigation in the left-hand side of the BoardPro dashboard. If you haven't yet tried BoardPro, again, first of all, you're missing out. It's extremely easy to start, though. Just simply head to the website and you can sign up for a free trial with no credit card required. Or if you want some more context or have some more detailed questions about BoardPro, you can just book a demo from our website too. And that brings us to the end of our session today, short and sweet. We'll just take some time now for Q&A. I can see some that have filtered through. So Penny, would you like to take that first one? Are you able to link a document to an item in the work plan?
Yeah, it's a good question. Not at the moment, but what we're doing at the moment is trying to see how you guys like it in the wild, and we are actively in development on kind of new enhancements to it. So this kind of stuff is really good to know. So if you've got feedback like that, please do keep sharing it through. So not at the moment, but a good suggestion.
Great. I
Okay.
can see another one's come through. When you link to a meeting, can you select any of the committees on there to show the route and time of decisions?
Awesome. Pri, do you want to take that?
Yeah, sure. So when you link to a meeting, oops, sorry, the question is just, when you link to a meeting, can you select any of the committees on there to show the route and time of decisions? So that's not a feature that we've built in yet. But as Penny just mentioned, that's the kind of feedback that we really appreciate in terms of thinking what's next for the functionality. Uh, I'll just read the next one out loud because I'm already here. Hi team, wondering what your suggestion is for boards who have meetings on a 6 weekly timestamp, but actions which directors might need to undertake in between meetings. If I'm wrong, so is this annual work plan specific, or are you talking more about a flying minute, like a between meeting action? Um,
And that's fine because at the moment with our annual work plan structure, it's you can add as many months as so you can have if you're having multiple meetings in May, for example, you can add each of them in as separate meetings, or if you're having stuff that's happening in between, you can feel free to kind of edit that as you want. So it's not locked down to those specific 12 months. You can kind of add if you have multiple meetings within a time. In terms of kind of best practice for that kind of thing, we'll probably get back to you because we have governance experts that we talked to like last week who are around specific kind of situations like that. So yeah, no, thank you for that question, Francis. Okay, another one is seems easy to make changes. Is there an audit log? So Pri, can you talk a little bit about who has access to annual work plan and what that looks like?
Yes, absolutely. So there is not an audit log at this stage. How we've built in the permissions is your admin chair and board secretary can kind of create and view the annual work plans. Your board members can view only, and then guests are not able to view or obviously create them from there. So yes, there is not um, an audit trail built in yet, but those are the permissions that we have included.
Awesome. And we have another one. How do you integrate work plan elements into agendas?
So I guess I might get a little comment from Penny later, but I will say that we are actively exploring that very functionality right now. It's definitely something that you have told us you would really value, and so it is on our radar for future iterations of the annual work plan product.
Awesome. We've got another one. Could you set up a 2 or 3 year rotation rather than an annual rotation plan? Just thinking that some policies we only review every 2 or 3 years and some we review every year.
Yes, you absolutely can. So, when you jump into the annual work plan, you're given dates, months and years. That is 1 year prior to the date today and 4 years after. And so, yeah, you can go up to 4 years from the current date, uh, in terms of adding tasks into the annual work plan.
Awesome. We've got an easy one there. That's what's the cost of this feature. So there's no cost. This is just included in every tier of our plans. So whichever tier you're on, you will have access to this on the left-hand side of your navigation when you log in. There's one around, is the work plan included in the meeting pack once it's pulled together, or does it sit outside of the pack?
At this stage, it's not included in the meeting pack. But again, we're looking for options we're looking at options for what an export kind of experience would look like.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, we've got a few kind of questions around export and being able to download the plan like the interest register. So definitely on our radar for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right. We also have, can different people, i.e., a finance person, have a role, a permission to see and update live finance reports? So this falls kind of outside of our annual work plan kind of permission set at the moment, but we are kind of reviewing what makes the most sense here and who should have access to that.
Hmm.
Not a dumb question, Jackie. There's one that says, can we have a board plan for the organisation and others for committees? The answer is yes.
Easy one.
Another one linked to who can view, so who can see the work plan once it's done.
Yes, so as I mentioned, um, in terms of view, it would be your admin, chair, secretary, board members, and then anyone you set up as a senior exec as well in BoardPro. So anyone that's added as a guest cannot view.
All right, let's see if there are any other ones we haven't captured.
Mhm. There is one here that's just, is there a way to have a name assigned to a specific task? So again, with that one, that is something that we are aware of, but is not in the current slice of the feature.
Awesome. There's lots of kind of requests here around what it will look like to be able to like link documents and link owners and actions. And we're really keen to see how you want to use this. At the moment, it's very much a plan with a list of your kind of link to your meetings where you're having your board time or committee time. But we are really interested to see what else you might want to see in that view, because it is really nice to have kind of a holistic view. So all the stuff around, can we have actions assigned and documents assigned? Please keep feeding that through as you have a go, because we would love to hear that from a product point of view. All right, David, have we got time for a couple more questions or?
Yeah, a couple more. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is there a way of categorizing tasks, e.g., strategy, monitoring and reporting, etc.?
Great question. So not in this first slice, no. But yeah, again, it's really good for us to understand what that request would be or what that functionality looks like. So thank you for raising it.
Yeah. And another question. Let's see. It would be good to have the choice of decision, noting, information buttons. Yes, totally. At the moment, we've kind of the solution, the kind of workaround to that is just typing that inside the line item, but being able to kind of categorize that. We had seen that kind of in a few different work plans, so interested to see if that's functionality that you guys would like to see.
There's a really good one from Nerissa. Sorry, I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Is this function more for tracking things that a board needs to approve as opposed to putting your operational plan in with full project details? Yes, so Nerissa, the annual work plan is really intended to kind of be the reminder. It's to help, get that overall annual view of all the things that you really need to get done and then help capacity plan around when the conversations need to happen. And so to answer your question, yes, it is that um, the high level kind of reminder to help visualize the work that needs to be done.
Awesome. There's a question around, will the annual work plan information pack be sent out to attendees after the session? So I think the answer is yes, we'll be sending that out. Is that right, David?
That's right. Yeah.
Awesome.
Maybe time for one more question, Penny.
Okay. All right. Let me find one
Make
here.
it a good one.
Oh, there's just so many good products. I mean, as a product person, this is so exciting because there's heaps of really good questions here and lots of
Yeah.
ideas here. Let me just have a see. We've answered that one. A lot around kind of action logs and what that kind of audit trail looks like. So that's really good kind of feedback for us there. And yeah, at the moment, that linking that you're seeing with the name, the initials of the names, the little icons, is just around who's attended the meeting, as opposed to that person is connected to those actions. So just to kind of reiterate that. A question around can you demo the import the existing plan? We haven't got that prepared today, but yeah, please have a go. It looks at a whole lot of different formats, and we have some also kind of help guidance around there if you've got something that you want to kind of import. So thank you for that suggestion. And I think that's all. So there's oh, sorry, last question. So I may have missed this, but is there a specific format layout that is required to upload an existing plan? Pri, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can use a PDF, a spreadsheet document, so an Excel SX, or a DocX document. So any formatting that you currently have your annual work plan in, that's one of those three, can absolutely be imported in.
And the structure inside the actual
Yeah.
itself? Yeah.
Yes, yes, good shout. So just making sure that there's actually dates that are able to be um connected to the task, so that the feature can actually pick up when to schedule the different tasks out is really important. And if you've got an annual work plan that, for example, is a table and you've just used shaded cells to indicate that, to make the match between the time and the task. It does help the functionality a little bit if there's actually like a letter or a word in the square as opposed to just a color, just a shade.
Yeah, so all the details we have in a bit of a help article, but
Absolutely.
it's pretty straightforward. And when Pre said before, it kind of needs a date. That can also just be a month, so it doesn't need to be
Oh, yeah,
specific. It can say January, and you can have your January things in there.
that's
And
right.
yeah, I'll sneak one last question in before David cuts me off. But yeah, if you have multiple committees, are you able to create a work plan for each? And the answer is yes, you will be able to.
Great. Thanks both so much. It was really informative. If anyone else has any questions, please keep sending them through. As I said before, we will endeavour to get back to you with some answers. Um, Alrighty. So I've mentioned the pathways to start, but as we know, March is here, and actually, so is one of the best offers on BoardPro. So for the entire month of March, new subscribers will actually get 50% off their first year of BoardPro. If you're a school or non-profit, the savings are even greater. So just when you get to that point at checkout, just use code LT50. And again, as we've mentioned, you'll get an email from us very shortly, which will include the recording from today's session, the slide deck, and we'll also come back to you with any other follow-up answers to your questions. And just as you leave the webinar, don't forget to complete our 1-minute survey and go in the draw for our $400 hamper. We'll announce the winner of that shortly after. So yeah, if you're considering BoardPro, for your organization, we'd love to hear from you. Better still, just as I said many times, just take it for a 30-day free trial. It's really simple, really straightforward. You can get into annual work plan straight away and have a play around with it, and then hopefully let our product team know what you think. So thanks again for your attendance, everyone, today. Hope you enjoyed the session. Have a great day.